From sunrise to sunset, I can't stop hustling. Every minute, every second, can't stop hustling.
What a good
From sunrise to sunset.
Ooh, something's wrong. The clock's wrong on here. Hey, what's good? What's good? All those lovely, beautiful people out there in YouTube land. This is your boy, Hogs Awards for Bros, Brews, and Botches. And I'm doing the review for that lovely 0 hour to the full Death Before Dishonor with ROH. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Sorry we didn't get on this last night. Just had some complications like, life. So hope hope you're having a great day so far. I'm really just going to kind of run down this one because it was okay pay-per-view. It didn't suck. I won't lie and say that. But it wasn't as good as like the last one or the one with the Briscoes and the FTR in that final match. But it's definitely got some matches that you should go back and watch if you can. Starting out with 0 hour. The first match was Tracy Sauce Williams and Josh Woods. And they had a pure match. And the last couple ROHs, Josh Woods has kind of faced a few people in pure matches, which I'm guessing is just his way to kind of get back into the pure title picture again. Of course, Josh Woods won with a guillotine tied into the ropes where the guy couldn't tap out because he had already used his last rope break. So that's it for that one. The next one was Action Andretti and Darius Martin, which has been a pretty good tag team on ROH. If you get a chance, you should check a couple of their matches out, especially the one with the Kingdom, the match without honor. That was really good. Versus the workhorsemen of JD Drake and Anthony Henry. This was actually the best match of the 0 hour. I would have never thought I'd say that, but those workhorsemen worked their butt off in this one. They really did. There was a lot of times where I really thought they had this match won, which doesn't happen because they usually lose almost every match. So, hey, kudos to them. But in the end, Action Andretti and Darius won that one. The next one was legit Layla Hirsch versus Trish Adora. It was an okay match, but they gave them time, so you actually kind of got into this a little more than you thought, because I thought it was just going to be another squash match. But Layla Hirsch, of course, put her in an arm bar and flipped her over and won that one again. But after the match, Layla decided she wanted to get a little more payback in, and old Sky Blue come out of nowhere and come running for the save. So that might be a good little thing for. And side note, Sky Blue has been blessed to be in ROH because her skills have increased tremendously, it seems like, since she started wrestling in ROH. Being in ROH has been the best thing for her, I believe, because I've even noticed her main roster matches have been better since then. So something good's going on. Lastly, you had AR Fox and Shane Taylor, which was a pretty decent match. Not bad. AR Fox literally got him up in a Samoan drop out of nowhere. I don't know. Shane Taylor was sitting on the top rope and he basically fell on top of it. And he hit him with a Samoan drop, then did his 450 splash for the win on that one. And that ended 0 hour. Now, after that, we got the first match of the actual card. And that is Gravity, who spells his name Gravity, and he's a luchador versus Commander. Pretty good start. One thing I really got to say is Gravity is actually a really good mat wrestler, along with being, luchador, where he can do a little flip stuff here and there. And I was really impressed with a lot of his just technical wrestling. Was pretty great, considering, Commander is all about, let me get on the ropes and run, flip all the time. And he got a few of those in, which he had a really beautiful one where he ran. Commander ran on his ropes like usual and did bouncing backflip off into like a splash. Was pretty good. But in the end, looked like Commander had it won. He had got him with a splash. He starts pulling Gravity into the middle so he can get ready to do his normal little move off top rope. And right when he was getting ready to move, Bam, he caught him with a darn he caught him with a move, rolled him up, and got the 3 count, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" So that was a cool way to win. He's got a match coming up against Pac, I think, on Collision tonight. So that should be interesting. That's another thing I think about this pay per view. They did a whole lot of guys that win a match and then setting up the next match. So if you're one of the people that kind of watches both, it's kind of a good way. They had a lot of segues where the guy will win and be like, "Oh, don't forget, because he won. This just came from Tony Khan. They're gonna do such and such and such." So take that you want to. The next one was for the ROH TV title with Dalton Castle and the boys out there with him and Samoa Joe. Um, this was a pretty decent match for the most part. Uh, the interesting thing was Stokely Hathaway was sitting on commentary at the time, and if most people that hadn't watched ROH didn't know, Stokely kind of got intimidated by the lovely Samoa Joe saying, "I'm glad you running everything, but you know what? You better do what I say." He looked at it like he almost killed him. So, eyes got really huge, and then he walks off. So that's kind of a foreshadowing. So during the match, the boys kept saving Dalton Castle every time it happened, and they would throw Joe back in the ring at random time and stuff. And the whole time Stokely kept sounding kind of scared the whole time. Anytime Joe would be doing bad. So near the end of the match, the boys do something to help Dalton Castle. He comes out and he says, "You guys got to go to the back. Y'all can't keep doing it." And he sends them to the back. Everybody's booing him and everything else, but he's sitting there looking all crazy and scared. And at the time, Joe had just got splashed on the outside, so he was looking kind of beat up. Well, that gave him Stokely sending them boys off gave him just enough time. He comes from behind Dalton, puts him in the Cohina clutch, and puts him out, and puts him to sleep. And then as he wins, he goes out there and he gives Stokely a high five and taps him on the forehead like a little kid. And I started laughing. But other than that, that was a pretty good. Sometimes I forget how strong Dalton Castle is, though. Man, he put him in so many German suplexes and stuff. It was just, it almost like Taz back in the day, out of the random, let me throw a big guy halfway across the ring stuff. So it was pretty cool. Uh, the next match was the 14 tag battle for the ROH tag team titles. So, as you had the Kingdom, you had uh, the champs, which are the Lucha Brothers. You had let me see. Somehow I lost the darn thing. My post go. That's funny. Um, Kingdom Lucha Brothers. Uh, the best friends Chuck T and what's called it, and I always seem to lose it. Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. And what am I missing? Let's see. No, that's later. What happened? Oh, seem to lose my notes right now. I don't know what's going on. Everything was working just fine a minute ago, as they always say. Oh, that's it. No, that was last night. I know what to do. Do this. There we go. There we go. I don't know how I lost that last one. It just seemed like it just ran away. Oh, it just seemed like I just lost the last one. I was like, I had it down here in my notes, and then all of a sudden it's like everything looks chaotic out of no goddamn where. Anyway, so this match started off pretty good. Had a lot of uh thrills and spills, as of course any Lucha Brothers match is going to have. Um, a lot of guys getting thrown. One of the better spots was everybody was on the outside, and Trent flipped hit Mike Bennett with a suplex on the outside. That was a pretty good spot. But in the end, the Lucha Bros looked like they was going to have to win, and them and the best friends kept getting into it no matter what happened. So whether right or wrong, here come the best friends. Bam, they stopped them from getting the thing, and they start kind of beefing outside. Well, here goes the Kingdom thinking they got it. All of a sudden, here comes Aussie Open out of nowhere. And if you watched Aussie Open before um, Dexter got hurt, it just looked like man, they were really running pretty well. So here we go. They get him up in the move. Wham, 1, 2, 3, and now Aussie Open is now the ROH champion, which to me made more sense. It almost like felt like they gave the Lucha Brothers just a belt, just to say they had a belt. But that's neither here nor there. Uh, Next match is for the Pure Wrestling Championship with Katsuyori Shibata and old Daniel Garcia with his lovely dancing self. And it was so funny during the match, they kept calling him a wrestler. You're a wrestler. You're a wrestler. So that was kind of funny. But another really good match. A whole lot of chops, a whole lot of I can wrestle, I can flip you on your head type thing. But in the end, Shibata gets him with a rear naked choke. And as he's falling asleep, Daniel Garcia starts doing his little dance. Like he's trying to wake, and he's acting like he's waking up. But as it goes along, it's getting slower and slower and slower. He finally just fades off. Thought that was hilarious. So put him out of his misery. Done. Um, let's see. So after that, we have the old Mogul Embassy versus uh, let's see. I'm trying to remember how you say it. Leon Ruff to Gucci Urasuki and Watto. And this is one more underrated match of the night because usually the Kingdom, Mogul Embassy comes out and they just thrash everybody in so with 5 minutes. They actually gave them some good time. They put a lot of effort in this match, so it's kind of a more of an underrated match of the night. But of course, as always, the King, Mogul. I keep saying it because it's next to the name. The Mogul Embassy comes out and defeats him, takes him down. Pretty decent match. Now, my match of the night, which was I should have seen it coming, but I was trying to deny myself this was going to be that good, was the Dark Order versus the Righteous and Stu Grayson in a match without honor. And I'm not that big in the hardcore where every match has to be, tables, ladders, and chairs, two and all that kind of stuff. But this, please go watch this. Please go watch this. Just nuts how good this was. And for people that's been watching ROH, this storyline has built up for at least 3 months. So they was ready for this to really get going. And the best part of it was they set two tables outside, and Evil Uno, for the most part, really has been kind of he really hadn't really pushed himself against Stu. He kind of felt bad about like even bringing. He would bring a chair to the ring and sit down and he would hit somebody else instead of him. And it's just like, okay, we're we're getting to a point where he's gonna have to do something. Well, it looked like they were gonna put Evil Uno in something where Stu could jump off this ladder inside the ring. The big 20-foot ladders we always see back in the day. Well, Stu gets all the way to the top, and Evil Uno wakes up and gets on the ladder and starts shaking it. Stu's looking crazy, like, and I'm just like, yeah, you about to fall. He literally lifts him up and falls on two tables behind there, just crushes him. I said, man, wow, what a thing. While he's crushed outside, Vincent is getting kicked in the head by John Silver with a boot with tacks on it. He's kicking him in the nuts and everything. And as he's doing, he says, this is what I wanted. This is how I wanted, man. This is what I wanted. And I'm like, okay, this storyline gonna go a little long even after this one. So he rolls him out the ring. Alex Reynolds and Uno brings Stu back in. They finish him off, and your winners are the Dark Order. But is this a different Dark Order now? Because they seem like they've changed since all this has happened. Like they've got almost like they're almost a little more evil than beforehand. So I like to see how this storyline continues to go. Now we get to our co-main events. The first one is for the ROH heavyweight title with Claudio Castagnoli, and as my boy like to say, that bastard Pac. And good match, really good match. Definitely did not suck. You had like at one point Claudio was hitting him with the little swing outside on top of the stage. He hit about like 15 revolutions before he finally tossed him across the darn stage. Then for some reason they set a table outside, and you know somebody's gonna fall into it, but Claudio literally picks him up for a press slam, looks outside the ring, runs across it, and tosses him onto the table. I was like, goodness gracious. Everybody was like, is he dead? Is he alive? You know, because he shattered the table when he hit that move. So then Pac kind of comes back, looks like he's about to win, gets him in the rings of Saturn in a real tight ring of Saturn in the middle of the ring. Looks like he's going to lose. They Claudio rolls and reverses it a couple times, but still stuck in the rings of Saturn. Pretty good. Look like, man, he might finally win it. And then all of a sudden, that old Wheeler Useless, Wheeler Uter, I'm sorry, comes running out of there. And he just literally is like, hey, Claudio. And it's like, that was the distraction enough. Then Pac gets up and starts saying, hey, what's going on? And Claudio catches him with that running power bomb. 1, 2, 3. But after the match, Pac and the Lucha Brothers come out, and they're getting ready to go ahead and beat up Wheeler Yuta and Claudio because they outnumbered. Now, who would you think would come for the save for that situation? I guarantee you're not going to say who you think I'm saying. Why did the best friends come out and come in for the save? And not only come for the save, but came for the save to fight the Lucha Brothers. Then you're saying, well, it still might be a little, outnumbered. They might not have a shot. Well, guess what? Who all of a sudden here comes the orange out of nowhere. Good old Orange Cassidy comes out of nowhere and starts orange punching everybody. And finishes with a massive orange punch to Pac's face. That man looked nasty. And clear the ring out. So I'm looking forward to this Lucha Brothers best friends kind of beef right now, because that actually was kind of cool during the match. So can't wait to see how that turns out. And lastly, but not least, for the ROH Women's title, we have the champion Athena and Willow Nightingale, whose folks were out on the side of the ring at the time too during the match. Which, as we all know, usually means, hey, we might just win this match. The family might be important right now. Sorry to misinform you, but negative. Ever since John Cena folks was there at the match that one year, I don't think a person really won most of those matches when their family's in the darn side of the ring. I don't know why. It just seems like it's a wrestling thing, right? You could, but long story short, this match was a very slow build. So if you watch it the first 5 minutes, you're probably like, man, this is the most boring thing I've seen. It seemed like maybe Willow was a little nervous, maybe, because even on some of her moves, they were still a little, just like she was trying, like they both were trying to kind of remember who they are, even though they wrestled a lot. So it just seemed like it took them a minute to get going. But once they really got going, man, bam, 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 pounce to flip to jump, and then what really got everybody going is, here goes Athena. She got to set up going for the old face, thinking this is over with. Hits her with the old face, like bam, oh that's over with, bro. That's it, it's done. Because the whole time in ROH, nobody's ever kicked out of that damn thing. And hell, majority of WWE run, she really had nobody kick out of that. And guess what? Of course, here come 3, and that Joker throws that shoulder up, and everybody's like, oh crap. And I mean, the place lit up. That crowd had been quiet for majority of that match, which I really didn't like. And all of a sudden, bam. Oh wow, that's awesome, great, wonderful. Yeah. So here we go. Here come Willow. She doing her little Hulk thing where she's powering up and make that stern face, like all of a sudden I'm not smiling no more. It's time to win. So she throws out the rope, catches her with her power bomb. Bam! It's done in my head. That's it. But that's it. It's wrestling. 1, 2. Oh no! Oh my God! She gets out of that because nobody kicks out of that either. I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be one of those. Somebody got to hit somebody with a double move, right? Cool. So I guess Willow said in my head I gotta do the super thing like John Cena. So she puts Cena on the top rope, thinking, yeah, we're gonna knock it out. She's gonna try to hit it with the double super power bomb. And as she tries to get up there, she's fighting, and Athena finally hits her with that forearm that knocked that girl out in the last ROH match Thursday. Sends her flying, hits her with another old face, but this time she hits the old face, she rolls into the crossface. Crossface has been the other move she's been using to finish people off with. Well, Willow's fighting. She's rolling her, fighting. They still holding on. She's fighting. They roll into the middle of the ring. Athena grabs a leg to keep from moving, then grabs back in, and then finally, like, she cranks it really hard, pulling back. Next thing you know, Willow falls asleep, and there it is. Athena is the winner. And for the first time, Athena goes and lifts Willow's hand in there and doesn't attack her, doesn't slam her head into the belt, nothing. This is the first time Athena has actually, quote unquote, respected one of her opponents the whole time she's been in ROH. And that was a big moment. So kudos to her. She bowed one time, and then they was talking with like little smiles and stuff right before it cut off the air. I really like the end of this match way better than the beginning. As a pay-per-view, it was okay. Thank God it wasn't 13 matches like it normally is for ROH. I was pleasantly surprised. I had to overthink how many goddamn matches it was. Thank God. But overall, it was good. It just wasn't great. And I've kind of gotten used to the ROH being really great. So just like, with the last AEW pay-per-view, well, that's good, but it just wasn't what I'm used to. I'm hoping that they take this and really do something with it, get strong, and knock this thing out the park, man. But at that point, thank everybody for checking in. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. I'm probably gonna go to bed now. No, I'm kidding. I'm probably gonna go find me some beer or something, get some sleep. But as always, when it comes to the bros, you can find us anywhere. You should check out our link tree. It's always in the bios. Remember, we're on YouTube. Always be with the beer reviews, or it's literally everywhere. TikTok included. Yellow Boy is usually doing a shot of brew most Sundays. He's kind of taking a hiatus, but we already explained that if you watch any of our video. All of us on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We post a lot of our wrestling reviews on the Bros Instagram channel. So check us out, man. Also remember that the music you hear on the start of most of our shows is DJ L Spade. He's in our little link tree also. And then, hey, get you some merch. Get you some Bros merch. You see the someone back there? Get you one of them shirts and hoodies from Elevated Creations. You got to go, man. They feel comfy. They actually look pretty good, by the way. And I love them. So, hey, go out there and get you some. But anyway, hope all is well. Hope you had a wonderful day. Thank you, and glad you stopped by to see the old big guys talk about wrestling. And peace. Oh man, I almost forgot. If you didn't have a chance, make sure you're checking out the Summer Advent series. The man OSB has been going in on them goddamn beers, buddy. The last one was that cookies and cream. I wanted that mug, and I'm not even big on cookies and cream or anything but a goddamn ice cream. So hey, shocked the heck out of me. I was down. I was ready to buy one. I ain't gonna lie. I might go look. I might do it. I don't know. But anyway, once again, man, y'all take care, man. And once again, peace.
From